Oh, sweet baby Barry. All right, wakey, wakey, let's go. Hello, hope you're well. First things first. Check that out. Look, the last video I did, the edible Jenga, Mr. Bean was kind of freaking me out a little bit. So I thought, can I save Homer? Because his head kind of fell off. And yes, with a little bit of duct tape, you can see that on the back there, I could. As for Lizzie, she needed a lot more tape, but she's hanging in there. So I did have another Homer on the way. I've cancelled that, but I will order probably another one. And I only really want one, because it's a little bit scary. I feel like Macaulay Culkin, I want to put them on a train set. But there we go, they're over there. They help me focus my camera. Still, some of you ask me that. I pull it forward, focus it, and then put it back. Sometimes I actually forget, and then you get a really out of focus shot, like this. They do serve a purpose, and also keep you company. So, welcome to the final savoury recipe on this British playlist, which you guys have hammered. You guys have loved it. Thank you so, so much. If you've missed any, do have a marathon, but we're doing vegetarian today. I have never made a vegetarian roast before. Now, of course, I want to be doing this. I don't want to be sat playing the Lego set that Chloe made last night. Look at that thing. You got a slide, you got this glider thing, you got that. I should just do a Lego channel. Anyhow, this is going to be good. It's going to taste awesome, I hope. As I've discovered with vegetarian recipes, like you kind of need to like work harder to make it taste good, if that makes sense. You know, I'm a meat eater, makes me sound like a T-Rex, but generally I do like vegetarian recipes, and I want to make this be awesome. So we're going to do a crunchy cauliflower cheese with panko breadcrumbs, really super cheesy, 2 cheeses in there. We're doing a nut roast. It's going to be super good. Nuts, seeds, apricots, char-grilled peppers, sun-dried tomatoes. Rather than doing a nut roast, I was tempted to do one of those. Have you seen the hollowed out butternut squash thing where you stuff it? I might do that another time, just anyway. We're gonna do a vegetarian gravy. We'll keep that nice and simple. And we'll also serve it up with some honey roast veg. And reminder, all the other recipes on the playlist, the sides dish, there's so many good vegetarian ones on there, you could interweave them. So I've got all these little sections here to work through. Let's start with the nut roast. It's gonna take a while. So forget all this craziness, do not let it intimidate you. We're gonna focus on the nut roast first of all, and the body of it actually has some red lentils. So we'll cook these up. 200 grams of lentils. Oh wow, I nearly got it bang on, look at that. And this is what I just used as my tripod. The pan that we're gonna put these in. So we're just gonna make sure they're covered. Why the heck is that water so bubbly? Is there washing up liquid in it or something? That'd be a bad start, wouldn't it? Oh, wrong one. We're gonna simmer it for about 20 minutes. All right, so let's do some preppy stuff for our nut roast. And in fact, I found out that it was some nut roast. I know some of you guys, I've got a nut allergy. There's ways of avoiding that, and you can just pad it with more things like butternut squash. Again, caramelizing it up in the oven, roasting it is a very nice alternative. I just really like nuts. There's a real nice texture thing going on, kind of like a savory Snickers. First thing we need to do is slice up an onion into fine bits, because we're gonna fry this, really get that sort of fried flavor in there. Please work. Oh, no. Come on, God. What's going on with these onions at the moment? Oh. Cool. So that's going to be the heartbeat of this main mass. All the other ingredients are going to get chucked in with it, apart from carrot. Need to grate a carrot. I went to school with someone called, oh my, I broke it. Ah. Gonna wash it, it's fine. And today's entry in the carrot sandcastle competition is... great. Right, so I went to the shop and bought some mixed nuts that are already chopped. I don't know, it's just a medley, a fusion of nuts. If not, you just need to roughly bash them and chop them up, stick them in a sealed bag and go bang, 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 bang. Same with my seed mix. I don't really ever buy seed mix before. I feel like a bird. I've got some dried apricots. Now, we need to take some of these and roughly chop them, along with char-grilled peppers and sun-dried tomatoes. Now, the oil that's in, we'll use that to fry our onion. I don't really care that they mingle in with the carrots, because it's all going to go in at the same time anyway. What I do care about is not slicing my finger. And the same with the peppers and the sun-dried tomatoes. Chop, 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 but you don't need the fluid or the oil that it's in. Oh, look at that beauty. Now, what I love about this is, well, the fact that I'm now using my hands instead of my spoon. Well, that's good enough too. What I love about the tomatoes and the peppers is this is going to add moisture. And that smells blooming stonking. And why the heck is my phone edging closer? Go away. All right, so they're cooked. That's cool. We'll move that out of the way and drain them off, actually. So this is the pan we need for the onions. And we'll drain these off in a sieve. All right. Nice. All right, so this is the oil that the peppers were in, the char-grilled peppers. So just a little bit there. It's just generally sunflower oil, but it's going to be infused with the char-grilled peppers, which is going to be gorgeous. It's starting to stain it. Beautiful. But there's so much more going in here. I'm excited. All right, so just while that's doing its thing and sort of sweating out the onions, staining it slightly, oh yeah, I want to show you something. So I thought I'd be lazy and stick the nuts and the seeds in where the onions went earlier, just because I've got like a dispenser now to chuck it all in. But, you know, if you don't like nuts, you could just add more seeds in, or vice versa, or like I say, omit it completely. But I'm going to be like proper lazy, and like, we want a teaspoon of turmeric, good heaped teaspoon of that. We do want some soy sauce, but I'm going to pour that in the pan directly because I think it's going to get absorbed. We also need some garlic, so this is just some fresh garlic. Need to crush garlic quickly. There's a gadget for that. There we go, that's going to make it nice and easy for me to dump it all in a minute. Alright, so those onions are not completely like obliterated and caramelized. You can do that if you wish, but we're doing the honey veg, which I think will give us that. We just want to, oh look at that, that's awesome. Get this in, peppers and the tomatoes. I love you from my head, tomatoes. And the carrot, look at this. Soy sauce, about a tablespoon, give it a stir. Let's just take a minute. Are we making an edible rainbow right now? Oh, it's like the colours are so good. Now we've got to disturb it a little bit. The lentils. Beautiful. So that is it. We can now season it. So I'm going to use a little bit of Pug salt and pepper. Now we shove it in our loaf tin. I loaf it. What we'll do is just a little bit of grease lightning, a little bit of butter. We're going to line it a little bit, not fully, but just enough to give it a little bit of lift later to get it out, because that'll be the worst thing. You'd be like, no, trying to get it out later. We've all been there. So nothing too crazy, just something I can go, boop. I'll probably trim this down a bit, but let's get it in. Oh, look at this. Gorgeous thing. We'll press it down with a teeny bit of force, because we do want it to be a little bit more compact. Spinny. Oh, that was fun. Yo, it's DJ Nutloaf. It's done. And that's quite hot. It's done. Whoa. Bit of a haircut, but what I'm going to do, because this only bakes in the oven, we ain't doing any resting or anything like that like we do with the meats, we'll do the veg first. Grab yourself a big old bowl like this. Doesn't have to be as big as this, but you can... These are some, what do they call these again? Chantenay carrots, and I've always had them in restaurants. They keep the bums on them, so I've just given them a wash, and this is very easy. 500 grams, so I've got about 300 grams in there. Why would you need a plumber? Because you got a leak. Sorry. Bums off, cut it nice and thick, right? Okay, big old tree stumps. I love you from my head, potatoes. Tomatoes works much more better. You want some nice bite-sized pieces, because compared to the carrot and the leek, a potato is a little bit more stubborn. It's going to need a little bit more cooking time. You could parboil them first of all if you want. I'm not telling you what to do. We don't really need all these. It's going to be quite a lot of potatoes otherwise, so this is plenty. So I used about 4 potatoes. Just scares me, doesn't he? Look at him. He was fine. She was like really nice. For this honey roast veg, you can add any veg you want. Brussels sprouts would be good in here. Cabbage, just go to town on it. Parsnips as well. And sometimes some people, they add balsamic vinegar and honey at this stage, but I don't. I'll do it at the end. Whoa. This is the oil from the tomatoes. Yeah, about 2 tablespoons in there. We'll give the Pug salt and pepper a rest. This is some cracked black pepper. Flaky salt base smoked. This is a baking dish. I've not even greased it. I'm putting this in. Now, if you want an amazing roast, you want it all as an even layer, but I'm going for like nice big mixture of charred and softened, and then we'll shake it up with balsamic vinegar and honey at the end. But this is it done. All right, Amy, what are you doing over there, mate? Anyhow, as I was saying, this is nice and cooled already now. You can see it's kind of formed a patty. It takes less than an hour to bake. So it's all, we're getting our timings right. We're getting our prep done. That's it. One more big thing to do, and then we'll crack on with the gravy while these are baking. cauliflower cheese kit now. Honestly, I'm not mucking about, but like putting your stuff in kits like this is really good for you, like to be like, right, that's my thing, and that's my thing. That's my pants, that's my socks, that's my cauliflower cheese. Interesting how they call it a head of cauliflower, isn't it? Is it as if to sort of say there's a whole like body, arms, legs, torso of a cauliflower? Imagine that. If this was just the... Maybe they just live in a secret... What the heck is wrong? Might want a bigger piece than that. But it's kind of like taking apart a tree. Because you're sort of taking away the segments like this. There you go. And they all come apart like that. And when it comes to cauliflower, I've actually done some really cool recipes. I highly recommend trying out the cauliflower steak. That flavour will be absolutely incredible. I've got a little bouquet left over, so for anyone getting married, whee, over the shoulder. So kind of like the potatoes, I'm just getting them down again into fairly even sized pieces. And if only I had a pan of simmering water to one side. You can't see it. There it is. So we're putting the cauliflower into this pan, which might be a little too small. Find your way. There we go. Now we're not cooking it until it's completely well done. We're gonna get it still so it's al dente. Like 5 minutes. Getting good at this cooking, Lark. I should do a YouTube channel, aren't I? Up on there to rest. All right, to make the sauce, grab yourself a pan. So like a medium-low heat. In goes the butter. Ooh. All right, so that's just going brilliant. So low, down to a low heat. In goes the flour. Boom. Stir this through. Now you can do this two ways. You can take it off the heat, or you can just turn the heat off. I'm going to do it here because I do not want to scorch my worktop. So I've got 400 mils of water, and basically every 100 mil, I'm going to add it in so it absorbs. All right, see it's sort of thickening up again. Do that a couple more times until you've done all your milk. And then we'll start to bring a low flame again. Please make sure you keep stirring it. We'll bring it up to a boil. We'll leave it simmering for just like a couple of minutes. So there we go, look at that. You must keep stirring it, otherwise it will stick very quickly to the bottom. You'll get like this horrible sort of floury, scratchy base thing. I am talking from experience again. Off the heat it goes, Flavor Town. Add in your cheese. This is some mustard powder. So a good heaped teaspoon of that. It's so hard to do the Salt Bae when there's a burning like red hot pan there. And that goes. Oh, look at you. This smells so good. So the cauliflower is just being placed in there. All right, that'll do nicely. So what we'll do is we'll grab our sauce and just pour it all over the cauliflower. Oh my gosh. You want it to just kind of find its way. Remember, we are not finished with Flavor Town on this. We are gonna add extra cheese and panko breadcrumbs just for a bit of crunch at the end. Shall we actually cook this stuff? All right, so I've preheated my oven to gas Mark IV, which is 350 F180C 160C fan. We need about 50 to an hour on the nut roast going in there. And the vegetables, we would normally get them on a higher temperature, but they only take half an hour. So we're gonna do a lower temperature so it coincides with the nut roast for about 50 minutes. And for the last 25 minutes, this will go in, and we'll finish it with a little topping for another 5 minutes. Got that? Good. All right, so we might as well get on with the gravy. And the cool thing about this with gravy, you can just warm it up, right? So butter, flour. This looks like apple juice or something else. This is just some decent vegetable stock. Garlic clove as well, half an onion. Now, obviously, if you want to ratio this up, you can. You could just add some more flour. So instead of butter, you could use some oil. In fact, to make this vegan, I guess you would just use some vegan butter. All right, so that's pretty much there. So in go the onions. It's up to you. I'm gonna proper caramelize these up. And you can actually keep them instead of sieving it. So if you do not want a lumpy gravy with the onions and sort of the garlic in it as well, put some herbs in it too. Sieve it through. So I'll fry these up, see you in 5 minutes, and we've probably got to get the cauliflower cheese in a sec. It's just hit me that the cauliflower cheese I'm making, some of you might be like, yeah, but cheese comes from an animal or rennet and all that stuff. You can use a vegan cheese as an alternative, but obviously if you're a vegetarian, you probably still use the cheese anyway. If you're a vegan, just use vegan cheese. And instead of the Parmesan, maybe caramelize up some onions on top and sprinkle that for some extra crunch. All right, disclaimer, don't judge me. Oh, look at that. I love that. It kind of reminds me of when you go to like a fair or something and they're like frying onions for hot dogs. You've got that caramelization. I've just pushed in the garlic, so that's going to need like 1 or 2 minutes. It's going to get really fragrant. It smells insane. I am working on a hot dog stand right now. Let's add in some flour like before. So that's it. That's nice and thickened, so we can slowly add in our stock. So kind of like the cauliflower cheese when we were making that earlier with the sauce there. You add as much stock as you want to get the thickness you want. I've never been a fan of a hugely thick gravy, so I'm going to have mine like fully thin with the amount we've got here. Bit of pepper. And then this is it, where you can add like a sprig of rosemary right now would do well, but some more wine like last time. We'll just bring this up to a simmer, bubble away, and you've got these little caramelized bits of onion in there. Like I say, if you don't want to use the Parmesan on the top, you can actually just fish these out with the sieve and like reheat it on your cauliflower cheese at the end. So good. Oh, I've just got this out the oven. I'm going to let it rest for about 5 minutes so it will kind of be easier, hopefully, for it to pop out. The gravy's done. The veg just needs to be flipped in the honey, but we'll finish off with a little last blast on the cauliflower cheese. Wow, that's hot. Sprinkle some more cheese on top. So this is optional. You could just do cheddar if you want. Again, we're going to do both. Panko breadcrumbs just for some crunch. We're going to toast these up. It smells so cheesy. And just a little sprinkling of extra cheddar on there. Oh yeah, so back in for this to melty. Oh, the cauliflower cheese is out. It was bubbling just a minute ago. Anyhow, this pan of vegetables is very... Oh, let's get some focus, yes. Very, very hot indeed. We're going to shake it up with honey balsamic vinegar. Because it's still got a little bit of oil. Wow, this is echoing it. From when we shook it up right at the beginning. Oh my gosh, but it's going to be a lovely, crunchy, crispy, caramelized coating on there. Oh my goodness. Good enough as it is like this, but a little tangy sweet edge with the honey and the balsamic is going to rock its socks. Let's say just about a teaspoon of the balsamic. You could have added it in for like the last 5 minutes and it would warm it through, but we're going to use the heat that's already there. Good squirt of honey. It's going to get sticky. It's going to be gorgeous. Yes, just coat it. Stain it in the balsamic. Sweet tang and that natural sweetness from there. And that is it done. Cool, let's serve up. Okay. Oh, still moist. I love the colours on it and stuff. That's brilliant. You could actually maybe grill the top as well. If you want that charnus there on the top, you could shove it in there again. The slow roasted veg in that. I've just put it in a cooler dish. Look at that. So shiny. Ah, yes. And the cauliflower cheese. Oh my gosh. Oh, it smells so seedy and nutty and flavourful. Oh, it's still quite wet. Oh dear. Big, confident, sharp cut this time. Big chunk. It's still a little warm, so if you let it cool, you'll get much nicer slices. But hey, look at that. So I've got it down on the plate with my roast veg as well. Oh my goodness, right. Can you hear that crunch? Oh, look at that. Look at that. Just, it's so hot still. Yes. Never ever in doubt. Oh, crunchy, cheesy. Don't get on my finger, that's gonna hurt. Or cauliflower cheese. Look at that. Look at that. Make it as thick. I've completely covered that in gravy. As thick or as smooth as you like. That, as a meat eater, suddenly looks really, really appetizing. It's full of flavor. I've completely drenched it in gravy, but I'm gonna see what it's like. I just took a few pictures of it and I was like, that actually doesn't look too bad at all. It's quite nice that it's drenched in gravy. Is there ever a thing as too much gravy? Oh. I'm gonna have the cauliflower cheese with the gravy first of all. Oh, I just got a bit of crunch of the panko as well. Super cheesy. The gravy is warming and there's so much flavour. There we go. Potato, leek and carrot. Oh, sweet baby Barry. The zing from that balsamic, the honey just sticking to it and the softness, the chut. Oh. Right, nut roast. I've never had one of you before. There's so many different ways to do this. Oh my gosh. I like that it's moist and it fell apart a little bit. My fear of doing a nut roast was it'd be kind of like eating a brick, like really dry. I would much rather have something moist that, you know, once it cools down, I'll say it'll slice better, but that is That is amazing. I'm not going to convert to being a vegetarian, no, but that is, we do a vegetarian night twice a week here in the house. That is enough for me and a new step to my armor. But of course, feel free to mix up the sides with the other videos in the playlist with this. Like, just keep your pictures coming on social media. It is just so awesome for me to see. You guys inspire me, so keep it up, and I'll see you again next time for desserts. Bye-bye.
Check your level, player. No matter what your style, the kitchen's for me. Simon's moustache, goatee, maybe all three.
Massive thank you to everyone that's enjoyed this roast playlist. The last one on it at the moment will be 3 classic British desserts, in my opinion, as I grew up, that hopefully you guys will love. You guys have been sending me some really nice messages, and honestly, it's so cool. But I wanted to sort of tease the idea of doing something called A Taste of the World, where I'll do a playlist with different countries. So with your help, I'll try and stumble my way through. So we could do France, Spain, Australia, wherever. A starter, a main, a dessert, maybe a drink as well. Something I was thinking of starting, and let me know if you think that would be cool.